Christina Hendricks joined Good American Family 30 hours before filming. I got cast 30 hours before I was on set. So I had to work very, very quickly. Hendricks, 49, exclusively revealed in this week's issues of Us Weekly. I had an opportunity to read the scripts, and I did watch Investigation Discovery's The Curious Case of Natalia Grace series that's out there to try and get as much information as possible. Then I worked with a dialect coach because we wanted Cynthia to stand out in a little bit of a different way from the Barnetts. So I did all of the big fittings and everything in 30 hours, and then I was on set. Hendricks called it a fast and furious process. But I digested as much as I could in that amount of time, she said. I actually was unfamiliar with the story. Then when they reached out to me, I turned to my husband, George Bianchini, and I was like, oh, this is this wild script. And he was like, I know all about that. So I think there's a fair amount of people who do know about it. Grace, now 21, was originally born in Ukraine before being adopted at age 7 by Christine and Michael Barnett. She was diagnosed with dwarfism, but 1 year after moving in with the Barnetts in the U.S., they successfully changed Grace's birth year from 2003 to 1989, after allegedly suspecting she was a woman pretending to be a child. Despite their claims, Grace was later confirmed via DNA test to be 8 years old when her adoptive parents abandoned her. Following 5-year investigation, the Barnetts were charged with multiple counts of neglecting a dependent in 2019. Michael was later found not guilty while the case against Christine was dismissed. While awaiting a trial, Grace was taken in by Mans, who Hendricks portrays on the series, and her family, which is explored in the second half of Hulu's Good American Family Limited series. I don't come until the second part of the story. So Imogen Faith Reed was already playing Natalia for a while, and she had her rhythm and she knew the character. For me, I was the newcomer and I was like, I'm the new kid. What are you guys doing here? Show me the ropes, Hendricks recalled. So even though Imogen was newer to the business, I was newer to the project. So it was really nice to be able to work with her because she was in it, and her creative juices were going. I really got to show up and react to her and what she was doing, which was already so fantastic. It was incredibly easy. She was very open and trusting. Her and I hit it off right away, she noted. As dark as this material can be and how difficult it can be to play, we did have good laughs in between. We got to let loose and brighten the mood in between. And we stay in contact, and we're excited to see each other soon. Despite not joining the series at the beginning, Hendricks felt welcome as soon as she was cast, adding, I trusted the cast and the crew. I knew they'd been doing their research, and it was a well-oiled machine by the time I got there. I've never played a character like this, and it is a very different kind of story than I played in the past. I've been working on very different things this year, she shared with us. I went from a Victorian piece with the Buccaneers to a comedy in Ireland, small town, big story, to this. So it was a fun year to just try on all these different people and all these different experiences. It was just a way to keep my artistic drive going, try something new and show people that I'm open to something new. That was something really lovely and unexpected. Christina Hendricks had always been known for her impeccable timing and ability to seamlessly slip into any role with grace and charm. But when she signed on to star in a new film for Good American Family, just 30 hours before filming was set to begin, even she had to admit, this was cutting it close. It all started with a frantic phone call from her agent, late one evening while she was winding down with a glass of wine. Christina, darling, I have an offer for you. It's a lead role, and it's a bit last minute, but it's perfect for you. She arched a perfectly sculpted brow. How last minute? You start filming in 30 hours. The words made her nearly choke on her merlot. Excuse me. Her agent, ever the smooth talker, continued. It's a romantic drama for good American family, and the original actress had to drop out due to an emergency. The producers need a replacement, someone who can bring elegance, warmth, and just the right amount of fire. And naturally, I thought of you. Christina sighed, setting her wine down. All right, send me the script. A few minutes later, the script pinged onto her phone. She skimmed through it, quickly understanding why the producers had been so desperate. The role was challenging. She was to play a fiercely independent woman who moves to a small town to restore a historic inn and finds herself unexpectedly falling in love. It was charming, heartfelt, and had just enough depth to let her sink her teeth into the character. But 30 hours to prepare, that was practically a sprint. Still, she had never been one to back down from a challenge. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. The next day was a whirlwind of activity. Christina arrived on set with a coffee in one hand and a script in the other. She had spent the night memorizing lines, developing her character, and figuring out how to make the role her own. The production team, both relieved and exhilarated, quickly welcomed her into the fold. Her co-star, a ruggedly handsome actor named Daniel Foster, was surprised but impressed. You really agreed to this with less than 2 days' notice? He asked as they ran lines in her trailer. She smirked. What can I say? I love a challenge. Their first scene together was a pivotal one. Her character, Amelia, arrives in town, only to have a less than ideal first encounter with Daniel's character, a local carpenter named Jack, who doesn't take too kindly to an outsider wanting to restore the old inn. The moment the cameras started rolling, Christina was in her element. She delivered her lines with confidence, her expressive eyes conveying every emotion effortlessly. After the scene wrapped, the director, a passionate filmmaker named Elise Porter, clapped her hands. That was incredible, Christina. It's like you've been rehearsing for weeks. She laughed, brushing a strand of hair from her face, just trying to keep up. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Despite the chaotic beginning, filming continued smoothly. Christina quickly bonded with the cast and crew, her professionalism shining through in every scene. She found herself drawn to the story more than she expected. There was something deeply nostalgic about the themes of second chances, unexpected love, and finding home in the most unlikely places. Between takes, she and Daniel developed an easy camaraderie. He playfully teased her about stepping in at the last minute, and she countered with quick-witted remarks that kept the set lively. I think you'd just like the idea of being the one to show me the ropes, she quipped one afternoon after nailing an emotional monologue. Daniel chuckled. I won't deny it. But you hardly needed any help. You're a natural. The chemistry between them translated beautifully on screen, elevating the film beyond a standard made-for-TV romance. The producers were ecstatic, already predicting the film would be a hit with audiences. By the time they wrapped production a few weeks later, Christina reflected on how unexpectedly rewarding the experience had been. Taking the role had been a spontaneous decision, but it reminded her why she loved acting in the first place: the thrill of stepping into someone else's shoes, the joy of creating something meaningful, and the magic of storytelling. On the final day of filming, Elise pulled her aside. Christina, I have to say, you saved this movie. I don't think anyone else could have done what you did on such short notice. She smiled, feeling a rare sense of satisfaction. Well, if you ever need another last-minute replacement, you know who to call. As she packed up her things and prepared to leave the set, she realized something important. Sometimes the best adventures were the ones you never saw coming. And this had been one for the books.